Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd. It's the 27th, or 28th now, I'm sorry, December 2012. Let's see some photos from Fayetteville, Arkansas. I've been calling this a natural rain garden, this whole big lot with one house right in the center. And now it's one big lot with several houses scattered over it. And this little part in the northeast corner is still a natural rain garden, but they're trying their best to turn it into a non-absorbent rain garden, which wouldn't be a rain garden, or even worse, a totally packed in rain garden, which would keep the water underneath it. And that's their problem right now. This isn't recent rainwater. This is water that is coming up from the ground, from uphill, and it's a natural underground flow that occurs in wetland areas with this kind of deep, rich, absorbent soil. And there they've got all this stuff packed over it in piles more of this black rocky soil or dirt or whatever combination it is. You can see back there against the tree and the other trees, they've got stuff piled all around over the roots of the tree. So this is going to kill those few trees that are supposed to be preserved on this land. And here's down at the other end, this is the southeast corner. And you can see that that would have been the area that was the natural rain garden at its best, the best part of it, where it should have all been allowed to flow as it historically did. But now it's packed over with other materials, and that hay in the street is actually over a storm drain trying to prevent the gook overflowing from getting in there. Anyway, this is across the street to the south, and you can see the riparian zone of the Spout Spring Branch, once known as Tin Cup Branch. And you can see just how close that machine is parked there. In fact, that parking lot and the back part of those buildings, definitely inside the 50-foot streamside protection zone, the riparian zone. The riparian zone means the area is actually the closest area where the stream starts, the embankment starts to slope into the stream. You see they've taken trees off, they've cut out underbrush, some's non-native China honeysuckle bushes, but some things like wild native cherries, hackberry, I don't know what. I haven't tried to count all the stumps and see, just look at the actual material they're made of. So it's diverse, though. It's not just China honeysuckle there. So they shouldn't be disturbing that soil or adding anything over the top to keep it from being absorbent or denuding it of vegetation, because it will erode into the stream, and the water you saw from upstream is coming underground from straight across there, under here to that stream outlet. So this is an example of bad management of a prairie area in South Fayetteville, Arkansas. And it's, there's no sign of a Corps of Engineers permit to do what they're doing, no sign of a city permit to do what they're doing. It's just being done cowboy style, just ride in, round them up, and move them out. And you look down to the west on Martin Luther King Boulevard, see the side of it. There you're looking north on Southeast Avenue. Till next time, Mr. Aubrey Shepherd asks you to do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and the woods green. And please follow all the rules relating to streamside and wetland. Thank you. Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd, and it's the 28th of December 2012. I'm looking at Mr. Bob Jordan. He's getting ready to do a short take after I complete this one, and he's my audience today. Well, let's see what pictures we have. Elderberry, leaves, healthy. It's new growth. Most of these were seen earlier in the year, and now they're coming back again after being killed out by the drought. So just glad to see some leaves. Don't expect them to bloom this time of year, but it's possible because we've had cherry blossoms late in the year like this after a warm spell. And those are the leaves of an oak that grows. That one's actually one I transplanted from Houston, Texas. And it is, I think now it's more than a decade old. And so it really has struggled in the sense that it hasn't grown very big. It's been 12, 15 feet tall for a few years, but it's just not bursting up like some. There are some large ones, a few large ones in Fayetteville. There's one not too far from my house in Fayetteville, and that one has a very skinny trunk. You see that? That's its trunk, and so it's surprisingly slender. But it's nice to have one. With climate change, it might be Gulf coastal winters here all the time in the future. Anyway, this is on Rocher Heights. This will be called The View, and apartment buildings. And you can see the rest of the university campus to the north, and then you can see uphill to some of the buildings at The View. And this is looking up one of the streets. This is a new street. It's never been constructed before. That embankment there between looking to the southeast, you see the disturb limit sign, and there's one of the big boulders they dug out. That isn't supposed to be disturbed even with a boulder leaning against it like that, but it is. But anyhow, that's the little nature area, the little piece of natural high dry prairie that has been preserved for that in that development. We're hoping it will never have spraying or mowing or anything on it. Management only in winter with a little mowing. Maybe some years it might need it if invasive plants start. Anyway, that's a view of the campus again. It's getting a little later in the afternoon by that time. I wasn't up there very long. It takes me a while to make a few pictures. Made a lot more than this, you imagine. And changed the settings to see what the sky and the clouds and so forth looked like just by changing settings. This is a real night picture, just an hour or so after that last picture. There was made down on the square, and the mayor was reading a proclamation, or whatever a preacher does, to marry a couple. But this is a couple who'd been married at this point 51 years, and Laverne and Keith Cooper of southwest Fayetteville, and they're all dressed up. But if you saw them, sometimes they both go out hiking and hunting and so forth together, and they've been doing this all those 51 years. And it was just because Laverne likes the merry-go-round type thing. There are other names for it that are used, but anyhow, she wanted to renew her vows next to that pony ride thing. Okay, this is the 28th. These pictures were made a few days ago, 3 or 4 days ago, Christmas Day or before. Anyway, that's the native honeysuckle, still in bloom. It's been in bloom. I'm confident I can find you a picture I've made in every month this year. So it's truly a winter honeysuckle, native Lonicera sempervirens. Please do your part to protect nature and enjoy the new year that we're so blessed to have coming to us, 2013.